Most movies are honest. Whether it's a good movie or a bad movie, there is typically a tacit understanding between the viewer and the story. The events that are transpiring are actually transpiring in the fiction of the universe. This understanding asks us to suspend our disbelief, even when we are presented with the most fantastical of scenarios. We are rewarded for this when the plot comes to a close and our brain releases the pleasant chemicals that typically accompany such a thing. But sometimes, movies lie. They place us in fantastic situations with the expectation that we will suspend our disbelief, only to then prove that our faith has been misplaced, and cause us to question what we are watching or have just watched. Surely, there will be no brain chemicals as a result of this deception. But lo, the brain chemicals appear nonetheless. A brief disclaimer before I get into my synopsis. I've seen this movie probably twice. Once about a decade ago, and a second time in preparation for this video. All of this is to say that the plot that I'm about to summarize is not the most clear thing and very open to interpretation. And that's obviously intentional. I'm just going off of what I took away upon my most recent watch. I'm aware that there is an extended version that delves more deeply into the intricacies of the events of the film, and there is surely much reading of forums that can be done to more clearly ascertain the events of the film. I neither watched the extended version nor read the forums. So, if you disagree with anything I say, I don't know, send me a carrier pigeon or something. Donnie Darko, the protagonist of the 2001 film Donnie Darko, is a troubled teen. A troubled teen that is clearly loved by his parents, but a troubled teen nonetheless. Mr. Darko is also prone to sleepwalking, and as a result, is not in his bed when a jet engine crashes through his house on a collision course with his bed. Instead, Mr. Darko is out making friends. Well, friend. Frank. Ostensibly a man in a bunny suit. Frank tells Donnie that the world's going to end in 28 days and some change. As is to be expected, young Donald does not know what to do with this information. What he does know to do is to trust his new friend Frank, and this causes Donnie to get in mischief ranging from petty vandalism to full-blown arson at the behest of the rabbit. As the events of the film progress, Mr. Darko becomes acquainted with the nuances of time travel, and begins to feel as if he is experiencing them firsthand. All of these things and more culminate when the time that Donnie was given at the start of the film expires. The world is ending, and Donnie saves it by returning to his proper place in time, and dying like he should have, crushed under the engine of an airliner. If all of that sounds pretty straightforward, I assure you it really isn't. As I said earlier, a lot of this is speculation to one degree or another. The film very much has a show not tell mentality, and encourages the audience to piece together the plot on their own. This type of ambiguity is part of the appeal, however, because since we are unsure of what exactly the plot is, we question whether or not it's happening at all. So that leads into the crux of my point. Did Donnie Darko actually travel time in the movie Donnie Darko? The film would have us believe that he did. We're led to believe that all the events after the first plane crash actually took place. We are led to believe that Donnie Darko made friends with a man in a rabbit costume. We are led to believe that Donnie Darko, a high schooler, solved the physics dilemma that physicists have been grappling with for decades. We are led to believe that Donnie Darko saved the world. But Donnie Darko is a diagnosed schizophrenic. He burned down a building and is in therapy for substantial mental issues. But the story is being told through the eyes of Mr. Darko. We are seeing events as he sees them, and feeling about them how he feels about them. Perhaps everything that we, the audience, just witnessed was a fabrication of a delusional mind in the moments before death. As I said earlier, ambiguity is part of the appeal of this film, and that aspect is bolstered by what I feel Donnie Darko most succeeds at: the tone. A slight shift in tone could make a more definitive statement as to what is actually transpiring, but I feel like the way the movie was shot lends credence to either conclusion. The day-glow color scheme of suburbia, juxtaposed against the austere setting of the more traditional private school, it makes the audience not sure of where they are or what is going on. The movie is set in 1989 and came out in 2001, meaning that for much of the audience at the time, the setting of the film harkened back to a time just beyond the precipice of memory, early childhood. Things in the film are, in the eyes of the audience, as they were when we were children, just coming to know the real world, but not quite beyond the reach of imagination, creating a sense of nostalgia. We remember the past fondly, and are just old enough to miss it, and because of this, we are not quite sure how to feel. I am far from the world's most premier music describer, but the music also plays an integral role in the tone of the movie. I would describe the music as pseudo-synth goth, but I listen to grindcore, so what the hell do I know? Just look up some of the songs from the movie, they're quite good. I don't have the words to describe how it achieves this, but I'm also quite confident that the music in the film bolsters my point and very much adds to the dreamlike quality of the work. Finally, even the fantastical aspects of the film are done in a way that they could have very easily simply been dreams. Furthermore, many sequences with Frank and time travel involve either characters sleeping around Donnie or Donnie waking up shortly after the sequence ends. This almost subconsciously plants the idea of sleeping and dreaming in the minds of the audience and makes them question the validity of what they are seeing, as it could understandably be written off as a dream. I'm not going to weigh in one way or another about what actually happened to Donnie Darko in the 2001 film, Donnie Darko. One, because I'm not quite sure, and I don't want to look stupid on the internet. And two, because I think that saying definitively, one way or another, takes away what is so great about this movie. I mean, there are a lot of really enjoyable things about this movie that I didn't touch on, but ambiguity is certainly one of them. I say that because that is something that I believe makes this movie great, gives the audience more value in exchange for their time. When the credits roll on any given movie, that's usually it. Unless it came out after the first Avengers movie, in which case there will be like 20 post-credit scenes. But with Donnie Darko, and even more broadly, any work with an ambiguous ending, that's not it. When a movie asks the audience a question rather than answering one, the final scene is not where the movie ends. It's where it begins.